So let's look into this lead code problem, which states count unguarded cells in the grid. So I'll quickly walk you through an example so that we get a better understanding on what the problem is. So what we need to do is it's pretty straightforward. So what we need to do is return the total number of unguarded cells. And by unguarded cells, what I mean is return the total number of cells which are not in vicinity of any of the guards. And the guard has the liberty to look around all four directions, which is east, west, north, south. But in case if the guards, comes across the wall, he can't, look past through the wall. So let's take an example here. We start with the first guard, which is present, who is present over here, and he can look south, but on the east side, he's seeing a wall. So this complete lane is covered by the guard, and the left and top directions are basically out of bound. Similarly, for this guard as well, he can look through these three directions, which is south, east, and west. On the north, we have a wall, and it goes for the other guards as well. So all we need to do is return the total number of cells which are not guarded. So it's a pretty simple approach that we'll be using, which is DFS. Wherever you find a guard, you do DFS on all four directions and iterate after doing all of the DFS search. You iterate through the grid, and wherever you find any cell which is unvisited, which does not have any guard or wall, then it is an unguarded cell. So let's try to visualize it a little bit more, and I'll explain what unvisited cells are. I'll take a small example here, and let's say in the matrix that we are going to create, um, we will represent guard as 1 and wall as 2. So yeah, we will do one more guard here, and yeah, okay, this should be good. So all you need to do is, like I said, perform DFS on all the places where you find a guard. So for this guard, this is the DFS. For this guard, this is the DFS. This one is also one DFS. For this guard, this is the DFS. This one is a DFS. And yeah, we are pretty much done. So these three cells are unvisited, and the total number of unvisited cells are what we are going to return. And one thing that we should keep in mind is while doing DFS, we should continue to go in the direction where the DFS is being performed. Let's say for this guard, we are doing a DFS on the south direction. Then while we mark this cell visited, we will be doing DFS from this cell as well, but on the same direction from which it came from, that is south direction. So we'll be doing DFS on south and not on all four directions. So that is one thing that you should keep in mind. And apart from that, things are pretty simple in this question. So let's code it fast. So yeah, so here we are only given with the indices where the guards and walls are present. So let's build the matrix here. We are supposed to build the matrix. So vector of int, we will name it as grid of size n, vector of int of size n, and by default all the cells are marked as 0. Even the unvisited cells will be marked as 0. Then let's iterate through the guards. Grid of it of 0, it of 1, we'll mark it as 1 for guards and 2 for walls. 2 for walls, and we do a DFS now wherever we find the guard. I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus for int j is equal to 0, j less than m, j plus plus. If we find a grid that has a guard, then you do DFS, and the arguments for this one, do DFS on all four directions. Okay, so we are yet to define the directions here. So the directions are, will go like this. Directions. First we will go for east, which is 1, 0 coordinate, north, which is 0, 1, west, which is -1, 0, and then south, which is 0, -1. For auto IT in directions, we do the DFS. And where are we headed towards? IT dot first, J plus IT dot second. We will pass the grid as well, which is essential, and the direction on which we will continue to do DFS. Not direction, IT. We are iterating through the direction here. And we do one more DFS. Not DFS, sorry. We iterate the matrix one more time. I less than n, I plus plus. For int j is equal to 0, j less than n, j plus plus. And if we find any unvisited cell, we increment res, and res is our unguarded, total number of unguarded cells. Let me define it here. Okay, now comes the main part, the helper DFS function. Pair of int, we'll name it index idx, vector of int pass by address, and the direction where we will continue to do DFS. Oops. Now let's get rid of invalid cases, that is idx dot first less than 0 or idx dot first greater than or equal to n, idx dot second less than 0 or idx dot second greater than or equal to m. We don't do anything, we simply return. And one more thing that I wanted to mention here is we will do DFS on the cell which is already visited also, because let's consider a scenario where we have these three cells as well. If a guard does DFS on from this place, he will cover this place and this place. That's fine. But we would also want to cover this place as well for this guard. So when this guard does a DFS, he goes here, sees the cell visited, and he completes the DFS. That is something that we don't want, because we want the guard to cover this cell as well. So we will continue to do DFS even if the cell is visited. So idx dot first, oops, grid of idx dot first, idx dot second equal to 0 or we mark it as 3 and do DFS again. IDX dot first and DFX on which direction? The direction which it has been doing DFS on. Direction dot first, IDX dot second, direction of second. We pass on the grid and pass on the direction. Yeah, I think we should be good with this. There might be some syntactical error, but let's hope it's minimum. Okay, we don't have an any grid dot size, grid of 0 dot size. Hmm. Auto. Some spelling mistakes. Okay, let's submit it. And we get an accepted answer. I hope the explanation was clear, and I would love to hear out from you as well on the explanation which is being done on and on the areas that I can improve. This is my first video, so I hope I continue to make further more videos. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.